Josh Schiffer is also a friend of the program. Josh, it's good to have you back. This is a lot to sort of take in. A, the allegations, right, in the book, but B, the fact that they are coming from beyond the grave. So the first question I have, and I have many, but the first one is your initial thoughts on the information that she's writing in this advanced copy of the book.
Well, it was clearly planned, and this is something that she intentionally set out to do. As we understand, this book deal was made with a couple of different publishers, eventually ending up at Knopf, and there was a seven-figure advance involved. And this was all completed with her ghostwriter just a brief time before her untimely death via suicide. So this set of information, this telling of her story, was definitely something she was in charge of. She played an intimate role being the primary source and worked hard to make sure that her story gets out there, because that's really the victory for her and the other victims of Jeffrey Epstein and all these other men. It's being able to come out and see accountability.
Well, so it's easy to forget or get confused or confuse all of the litigation in the Jeffrey Epstein criminal and civil cases. There are myriad. But with Giuffre, you know, she was bound by non-disclosure agreements with the prince, and it seems that she was bound by a non-disclosure agreement at some point, possibly with other powerful men in the United States. I know Alan Dershowitz sued her for defamation, and they went back and forth. So how does the NDA or plural NDAs, factor into dying and having a publisher take your memoir forward?
It really is an interesting legal case because, you know, now that she's passed, what is the defamation? Is she able to defame or libel or slander someone, including all of these individuals referenced, not by name, but certainly there's a lot of information out there in this book as clear abusers. What kind of legal liability is out there? Well, she's going to have an estate, and that estate will generate funds. We've got this book deal. We've got whatever else she had poured into that estate, and that estate will be legally responsible, or the legal organ, if there are lawsuits against it for this publishing. But that's clearly going to protect the rest of the family and the takers. Limiting the liability is probably something she planned extensively regarding.
Well, I would assume that she was no stranger to the law and to civil litigation. And David Boies, who's pictured beside her there, is one of the most incredible attorneys in American history. He argued Bush v. Gore back in 2000. I mean, this guy knows what he's doing. So if she bequeathed her entire estate to someone, and that is done and said and over, can someone who feels like a non-disclosure agreement has been violated come after those parties because they never signed anything?
It would be going against the estate, and whether that non-disclosure carries on and is a continuing obligation of the estate, and whether it was violated.
But if the estate's settled, that's what I mean. Like, I get it if the estate's still in play, but if the estate is settled and paid out and it's closed and over, does the non-disclosure attach to other people who had nothing to do with it?
It depends on how that non-disclosure was drafted, because if it's meant to survive the death of the individual or is attached to certain writings or other assets of that estate, the inheritor of those assets then get everything. You get the liabilities as well as the benefits.
Wow. Okay, so the other question I have for you is, let's just say things in this book may be a violation of the NDA. That would require Prince Andrew to come after kids, right? Like, wouldn't that require him to do something that the optics of which would be so horrendous? It's almost a given. Ain't no way, no how he's coming after her or her kids.
It's the awkwardness of anything like this, or a blackmail or something like that. Eventually, the truth comes out, and you're going to admit, yes, I knew her. Yes, these are issues. Remember, Prince Andrew has been on the record multiple times denying these stories up, down, left, right, and center, and appears to be going down with the ship. All of the British press is completely up in arms regarding the story of him losing his titles that you reported on, and how that may have been connected to this upcoming release. And this release is going to continue being just a giant ball of wax. It grows and grows and grows grabbing in more people. This story is going to continue roiling the British aristocracy and royalty for decades to come.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.